Coming in at number 10, Creeper Origins. Creepers were created as a result of coding error in the alpha stages of Minecraft development. Minecraft creator Marcus Notch Person developed a creeper around the odd appearance of a pig model. In Minecraft, the player exists in a large world made up of cubes. The world contains a number of enemies and which creepers are commonly encountered. A creeper is practically silent until it's near a player, at which point it emits a quiet hiss and detonates after a short delay. The explosion kills the creeper, can kill and injure the player, and also destroys the surrounding blocks, which kinda sucks, especially when you're building a freaking house. The original color of the creeper was a dark green. In 2021, an investigation revealed that person simply took the texture foliage of one of the building blocks of Minecraft and painted on a characteristic face. With the new updates, the hostile mob received new textures, sound, unique behavior. Initially, creepers attack players directly like zombies and explode when they are killed, but Notch decided that this was not enough and made the explosion a basic mob attack.
And at 9, Steve's recreation. I wanted to point out in odd detail that I noticed in the new update that I'm not quite sure what exactly the implications are. Rather, the piles of wood in woodland mansions that we all assume was the Illagers trying to rebuild Steve, and that was the creation of the zombies. It's my theory that this actually never happened. You see, the piles of wool, known in the structuralists for actual ancient cities as camps 1, 2, and 3, all contain the same wool found in woodland mansions as well as dark oak logs. Now, the fact that these contain both the same colors of wool as the woodland mansion rooms and dark oak wood instantly makes me connect these two, because obviously woodland mansions weren't built by the Illagers, okay? They had to move in after they were abandoned, but given that apparently the ancient city structure is also as rare as woodland mansions, this is an even stronger connection. My thought is that ancient builders learned of a way to make an end portal, okay, hence the prototype using wool in one of the rooms in the woodland mansion, not the ancient city. But then they wanted to put it down low so that they could actually, protect it. So they moved to the bottom of the world and made their first portal, which they lit to escape the wither. Then that's when the skulk got through. So to get away from the skulk and the warden, they just went up a little bit to actually make the original portal. And then that's why all the wool was moved down to the ancient city, because then they realized that the warden couldn't hear it and that the skull couldn't hear it, so they're like, oh yeah, let's move it from up there to down here. Or maybe they started moving it from down there up. One of the two, okay? Maybe it was even the ancient builders who made the first Illagers in some weird experiment before discovering the portal, and then that's why there's all that crazy crap in the actual woodland mansion. Who knows?
Coming in at number 8, Herobrine's story. Yeah, I said Herobrine because it's Herobrine. Herobrine was popularized in 2010 in a video game streamer called Copeland in a hoax on Brocraft. His live stream channel of the video game Minecraft in the original creepypasta, an anonymous Minecraft user reports running into another character while playing in single player mode. This other character had empty eyes and ran away whenever the user tried to pursue him. To get a closer look, the user then noticed a small, unexplained occurrences in his world. Tunnels, sands, pyramid, and trees without leaves, which the user attributed to be spooky, an elusive character with empty eyes. As Herobrine legend spread, the character's supposed powers has also spread. And honestly, the creepypasta for this dude, oh man. And honestly, it left a lot of people wondering what's going on in their computer game. Other users have picked up the story and added more aggressive traits to the character's toolbox, such as attacking users. Now listen, it's Herobrine, alright? If you don't trust in Herobrine, he will not trust you. I trusted him, so he trusts me. He ain't gonna attack me, he ain't gonna attack my world. So hey.
And at 7, Skulk Stalkers. Did you know that Siren Head was actually going to be in Minecraft? Kind of. Well, thanks to Mojang developer King B Dogs, who was also one of the creators who made the iconic Aether mod from way back in the day, shared on Twitter some of the original concepts for Wardens earlier this year. On January 22nd, 2022, King tweeted this photo and said, "Stalkers were going to have a glowing item in the middle of its chest that you would also randomly find throughout the biome floating on totems. The idea was stalkers would stand perfectly still to fake those glowing items." And the look of these things it really looks like a Skulk version of Siren Head, the monster by Trevor Henderson. There was even gameplay footage for these guys, so yeah, I'm very glad that these aren't in the game because they're terrifying and make the Skulk so much scarier. But Had they have been in the game, or had they have been added, this would have been the scariest origin for any monster ever.
Coming in at number 6, Nether origin. The Nether is a dangerous dimension containing fire, lava, fungal vegetation, many hostile mobs, and exclusive structures and biomes. Not really one of my favorites because that's where they hold the piglins too. And like I said, I had some worse experiences with the piglins. To access the Nether, the player must construct a Nether portal in the overworld. Portals created to the end do not activate. To create a portal, the player must find and build a rectangular obsidian frame ranging in the size from a minimum of 4 blocks or 4 by 5 blocks to a maximum of 23 by 23 blocks. Once the frame is built, it can then be activated by placing fire within the frame. Using flint and steel, fire charge dispensers, or any material that is capable of igniting fire. The Ghast can also do this too. The portal can be destroyed by breaking the obsidian frame, by a nearby explosion, or by placing water in the overworld, or lava into it with a bucket or dispenser. Any of the blocks in the corners can be destroyed without destroying the portal as well. The Nether has no daylight cycle, no weather. Natural sources of light include fire, lava portals, shroom lights, and glowstones. Even with the light level of 0, the Nether has a dim ambient light, roughly equivalent to the light level of 8 in the overworld. Yeah, so guys, if you really want, you can put that night vision mode on and you can really see a little bit better, but just play normal, you know, just go through it with a little bit of darkness. Who doesn't like darkness? You know what I'm saying?
Halfway through into number 5, Minecraft Multiverse. While seemingly Hermitcraft is introducing the Minecraft Multiverse with Green's Rift, which is a whole other video for another day, the Minecraft Multiverse may have started thanks to Minecraft Legends and Minecraft Dungeons. Quote from the Minecraft Legends article on Minecraft.net, "Stories are powerful. They create a bridge between us and generations long past as well as ones to come. We want to tell you another story." So, you know, another one, about peaceful coexistence where adventurers did not get chills when hearing hissing, groans, or bones. And, you know, this is backed by the fact that in literally the whole trailer, no monsters are actually fighting humans or villagers or trying to kill anything, okay? The website specifically says where adventurers did not, and I read that as never did, and I feel like that's probably the proper English way to read it, although I can't be sure because my first language is gibberish. But even before the piglins invaded, they were fine. So could this be a universe where we're in essence always on peaceful mode, and that the whole, like, maybe there's Bedrock and Java differences and there are other universes and whatever. Chris is just cutting me off, so I guess I should end this number.
Coming in at number 4, Golem origin. The term Golem may refer to 7 Golem or Golem-like mobs in Minecraft. Golems are tough utility mobs that protect villagers and players' forms attack. And also they help defend against certain enemies. I mean, they're pretty decent. They're pretty strong, to be honest with you. These Golems can spawn inside the village naturally. However, users can also create an Iron Golem of their own. Iron Golem, a mob summoned using Golem Kit artifact. The Key Golem, a mob used to open doors. The Mushroom monstrosity. The reviewed remains of the Redstone monstrosity, Obsidian monstrosity. He's pretty freaking bitch. Like, he's big, man. Like, he's a big red golem. I've never seen this. Like, when I searched this up, it was crazy, okay? The Obsidian version of the Redstone monstrosity, like, that mob can definitely be summoned with the original parts of the Redstone and the Redstone monstrosity golem. He's also a mini boss found in Minecraft as well. Honestly, between these golems, man, they are just crazy. And where they came from, they're just really created by us, really and truly. So they protectors of our land? Maybe. Who knows?
Getting close to the end, and at number 3, calling all the monsters. That's right, I made a China and McClane joke in a Minecraft video. Minecraft is an interesting game lore-wise, okay? Everything we see had to come from somewhere, whether you want to believe it or not, okay? All the monsters, creatures, and buildings had to have a beginning, but what was it? One Reddit user going by the name of Your Lord Jesus suggests that the reason we have so many different monsters to fight but no other builders is because Herobrine actually changed them all into these mobs. I mean, think about it. While some of these creatures like skeletons and zombies can be easily explained because, you know, they're just undead builders, where did others like creepers, endermen, spiders, guardians, villagers, blazes, and more come from? In this case, just specifically creepers because that's the most information I have. Like, we have explanations like the idea that creepers could be plants, but there is also official Minecraft merch that shows creepers having TNT inside their bodies. So could these be ancient builders who were demolitionists or miners that Herobrine just said, here, put your money where your mouth is?
Coming in number 2, Through Our Eyes. So what's the true story behind Minecraft through our eyes as builders and crafters that we are? We have been left with sites and a city built by the so-called ancient builders, mad scientist experiments gone bad, and yet we are seem to be based in some medieval time with horseback riding, and let alone the game has a goddamn dragon. We have to defeat that dragon just to beat the game. So it's like, bruh, this Minecraft is pretty stressful, and when it all boils down to it, like sheesh, all the mobs alone are a huge pain in my foot, especially them drowned, okay? They ain't even one of the worst. I got someone here very special to talk about a dirt nasty mob for one of our final points, and it seems like Connor has left the building. So everybody give a round of applause to the Dr. Cheese.
And finally, hidden number 1, the Warden. It is possible that any experiments going on with souls, be it with the Illagers or otherwise, actually came from the Skulk. Skulk is known to contain souls. This is fairly evident. I mean, the Skulk blocks hold XP that you can get by breaking it with a hoe. Not that one. Skulk Catalyst turns souls into Skulk, and Skulk Shriekers have souls swimming around inside them like that terrible first Scooby-Doo movie. And even the Wardens have souls in their chests. Going by Steve's standards, he would have at least 25 human souls inside of him, and if we consider his amount of hearts as a measure of this, he could have actually absorbed the Wither as well. He would have had 10 souls plus the Wither, which means that he emerged from the portal, he killed 10 ancient builders, and then killed the Wither, and then everyone else ran away, which was probably the smart move. Or in Bedrock, he didn't even kill the Wither, which is a whole other set of equations.
Coming in at number 10, The Beginning. Alright, now you know how the game is played out. It is time to learn how it all started. Minecraft is the brainchild of the Swedish programmer Marcus Notch Persson, who previously worked on video game developers King and later J-Album. Before laying all of his focus on Minecraft, Notch developed a few prototypes during his off hours, inspired by popular games at the time. Among the prototypes were Ruby Dung, a base building game, and Infominer, a block-based mining game. I think we can see where the ideas are getting from for Minecraft to be formed, right? The first edition of Minecraft was called Java Edition, was made by Notch during a weekend in early May 2009. The game was initially released to the public in May 17th on the TIG Source Forum, a forum for independent gamers and developers. After feedback from his peers, Notch upgraded the game to the so-called classic version. A few more updates were released in the Infodevs and ImDevs version before the major update Alpha was released on June 30th, 2010. It was around this time that Minecraft was beginning to pick up speed. Notch quit his day job. Yeah, believe that? Man quit his day job solely to focus on Minecraft. With the money earned from the game, he founded now the legendary video game company Mojang, thus marked the dawn, the new beginning of Minecraft we all know today. What a great partnership, I'm telling you.
In at 9, Guardians. Originally theorized by Map Out of Game Theory, there definitely seems to be something off with the Guardian mobs. Quote from the official Minecraft mob bestiary: "Their skin is cracked as if carved from some ancient rock, and their single white eye stares with a gaze that is somehow both unknowable and cruel." Also, not to mention that this seemingly fish also attacks the player and other mobs using a freaking laser beam, and also the drop behavior, okay? These mobs dropping prismarine shards and sponge with no consumable meat like any other fish, this is definitely kinda sus. I mean, even then, like, even if it's like not supposed to be edible, zombies still drop rotten flesh, so it's not like Mojang won't give us food that we really shouldn't be eating. So the theory goes that these guardians are actually man-made robots meant to protect the temple of the ocean monuments that contain 8 gold blocks. And something that MapBat didn't mention in this video, but I wanted to point out, the mining fatigue given to you by Elder Guardians really makes those blocks difficult to get. Also, I mean, why does a fish shoot me with a freaking laser and then make blocks hard to break? That doesn't really seem like fish behavior, okay? It's because they're not fish, they're robots meant to protect the religious monument of the ocean monument that ended up over time sinking. Boom.
Coming in at number 8, Drown. Once a human, this being was created from a surge of ocean power upon a drowned, rotting body. Drowned are common underwater zombie variants that spawn in oceans and rivers or when zombies drown. They are the only sources of tridents and the only renewable source of copper. Drowned spawn naturally at a light level of 0 in all ocean biomes, aquifers in the dripstone caves and biomes, and also river biomes as well. They spawn at higher rates in rivers and in dripstone caves though. That's pretty crazy. I didn't even know that myself looking into this. If a zombie's head, and not the legs, is submerged in the water continuously for 30 seconds, it begins the process of converting into a drown. It starts shaking, similar to the effect seen by a zombie villager, when it is being cured, that is. At this point, the process cannot be stopped, and 15 seconds later, the zombie becomes drowned. The drowned appears with full health, even if the previous zombie did not. Only normal zombies can transform though. Zombie villagers and zombified piglins, they cannot. So you kinda get lucky with this one.
And it's 7 Endermen. How did the Endermen come to be? How, were these weird giant creatures created, okay? The simple answer, I mean, technically is not, but the in-game answer could be a lot more sinister. Most people believe that Endermen are actually meant to be an ancient race of builders that were chased to the end by the Wither, although that has since been disproven, well, the Wither part at least, and over time, evolution took hold. The only food that they eventually had was the chorus fruits that we see in the end, and eventually this fruit bestowed the men and women with their abilities of teleportation. They grew taller to reach the fruit more easily, and they became the same pitch black of the void to hide from their potential dragon oppressor. But why do they hate us? Why do they come after us if we so much as look at them? Maybe jealousy. Could they be mad that they had to give up everything to survive, yet here we are thousands of years later just looking like they did, just chilling? Or perhaps they want us for food, thinking that maybe eating us will give them their normal powers back, just like the chorus fruit gave them powers. The Endermen are the only other mob able to place and pick up full blocks, and I mean, even their name alludes to them being human, Endermen, men of Ender, so who knows? Probably not Mojang, I'll tell you that.
Coming in at number 6, skeletons. A skeleton is a common undead hostile mob equipped with a bow. Skeletons are primarily a range-based hostile mob that shoots players and iron golems with that bow, and also the arrow, because you can't just have a bow without the arrow. If they get too close, they will also melee you. If an arrow does hit another mob, or said mob will attack the skeleton, and the two will begin fighting. Skeletons are known to take damage in the sun, but can survive under certain conditions. For example, if a skeleton is wearing a helmet, it will live. A skeleton can survive being in the sun. If it's in the water, a skeleton also that has fire resistance can survive the sun. There is also something called the Brotherhood of the Skull, which houses 3 types of mobs: skeleton horseman, wither skeleton, and the spider jockey, which I'm not a fan of, but they're all are badasses, I'll tell you that. Being the wither, the most deadliest warrior, and not just because, he's black and gray. Okay, maybe he is black and gray, I kind of might like it, but at the same time, it's the fact that he got a sword over the bow in the Minecraft. Yeah, I like swords, man. The Wither got one. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty neat. But I'll tell y'all right now, I definitely, like I said, I am not messing with spider jockeys. A spider and a skeleton, they should not mix, and I don't know why they did.
Halfway through into number 5, creepers. This idea also comes from the oh-so-benevolent MatPat, who blesses us with theories for various other games between FNAF theories. However, there is one theory that is like the first one that he suggested for Minecraft that really made us think. Could creepers be plants? It is definitely interesting, suggesting that creepers are a kind of peat moss, but there's even more evidence to suggest this that MatPat didn't even cover, like how it appears that the original texture for the creeper was just a modified leaf texture but brightened and then white was added in the back, which could have potentially been an error. Maybe Notch saved it as a JPEG instead of a PNG, but with the mob bestiary and such showcasing that creepers actually have TNT inside of them, maybe Mojang was just trying to course correct for the lore that they accidentally made, because now they have the lore that they actually want. Who knows? I keep saying that, but honestly, I don't know because Jeb won't answer me.
Coming in number 4, the cult of Illagers. They were initially called the ill-intentioned villagers. Minecraft developed loved the way they little play on their words. I know, right? And that wasn't any different when it came to naming the Illagers. The development team reportedly wanted something to match the villagers, but to also act as a hostile mob force. Players would need to definitely fight, and the idea came from the concept of the ill-intentioned villager, which was then shortened to ill villager. This interestingly applies Illagers are perhaps under some sort of spell or disease that makes them behave so incredibly violent. Eventually, the name was shortened from its current form to Illager. They tried to create the Steve but made zombies instead. Talk about a good experiment gone bad. This is nuts. Crazy origin story.
Getting close to the end in number 3, what are ghasts? Ghasts, the giant floating jellyfish of the Nether. What the hell? Are they really? Giant floating jellyfish mutated due to maybe harsh climates of the Nether, although there are no jellyfish in Minecraft. Maybe some other mob that was warped due to eating warped mushrooms and nether wart. Or is it maybe half a person after some builders had a little too much fun one night? Nobody really knows, but I mean, we can kind of guess. They could be some form of squid brought to the Nether and tested on by the ancient builders. They were changed potentially thanks to their diets of warped mushrooms, crimson root, and nether wart. And then they got bigger, and thanks to the climate, they developed an immunity to fire and lava. And their ink morphed into the ability to shoot fireballs from their mouths. It is gruesome and horrifying, but that's what happens when you experiment on squids in hell, assuming that they would be able to actually survive. Maybe like this is what what happens to squids when they die.
Coming in at number 2, the end. Long ago, or not so long ago, as the fabric of time is quite thin in the end, there sat a planet, an alternate dimension that just barely outside of our own. The name of this world is lost to even the legend, but we now call it the end. There lived a race of masterful builders, and they held a society completely built around the idea of building. The measure of one's life was determined by the things one built from, to the tallest statue to the finest sculpture. They can build, yes they can. Rather than enact war upon another, these mobs settled for their differences by building, not by war or bows or arrows, but to live peaceful in this newfound home, what they like to call the end. But it only lasted so long. The creature known as the Ender Dragon destroyed the end and enslaved all the mobs on this large piece of planet that remained. It flies above what remains to be called the end, commanding its slaves to go forth into another dimension and conquer by its name. The Ender Dragon does not seem to be able to leave the dimension it currently resides in, even though we have seen ways to get him out. So we must use different techniques from the end to conquer other realms.
And finally, in at number 1, the Wither Skeletons. Wither Skeletons are found in nether fortresses, another structure no doubt built by ancient builders. However, where are these rare skeleton variant coming from? MatPat and others on Reddit have proposed the idea that maybe these are the bodies of fallen builders, buried in or absorbed by the soul sand that we know has the faces of screaming souls trapped inside. The skeletons left over could have been burnt from the harsh climate of the Nether or the blazes found in the very same structures. Having to fight off the reincarnated burnt skeletons of your former friends and family is certainly horrific. Having to fight off the burnt skeletons of your former peers is definitely terrifying, but to do that in literal hell, at least in the game sense, would be too much. This could also be how they discover the unique properties of soul sand, and then this leads them to accidentally summoning the Wither after trying to bring all their friends back, but yeah, that's just the theory. Starting us off in at number 10, Nerd Creeper. The Nerd Creeper is probably the most confusing thing on this list, okay, but you know what, this is gonna need a little backstory. 3D Shareware version 1.34 is an April Fool's joke released in 2019, officially called Minecraft 3D. This version had many references to video gaming in the 90s, alright? This release is like a fork for the game at the version W1913B. And according to the developers, Minecraft 3D Shareware version 1.3.4 is an old version of Minecraft released on April 1st, 1994, of which only a handful of copies were ever made, one of which was discovered amongst all the rubble lying in the basement of Mojang's old offices. It was said to be a masterpiece of its time, featuring cutting-edge technology that won many awards, although this is all part of the joke. It's like they tried to make their own version of a creepypasta that wasn't Herobrine. In this version of Minecraft, the creeper was given an NBT tag called BD20 that would either be a 1 or a 0, because you know, binary, but this would determine, quote, whether the creeper is is a nerd. That's literally it. That's what the wiki says. Nothing else. No explanation as to what that could mean or how it was handled or maybe if they even look different. No, that's it. It was just the creeper could have been a nerd, but you wouldn't know if it was or not. Unless it asks you to play D&D, I guess, which I would do.
Coming in at number 9, the Wither. The Wither is hostile and he means business, no cap. They attack any and everything in their path, but even villains got a backstory, and so do the Withers. It all started with the beacons. We needed a way of obtaining them, and I wanted some kind of a boss fight, and I was inspired by Terraria. In the game, you always initiate a boss fight yourself, so I already knew it would be some sort of summoning, and a cult too, relating to the undead of Minecraft. The name in itself comes from the poison spell in an online role-playing game I made before joining Minecraft team, called Whispers in Akara. Working on that game is how I met Daniel and Pontus, the awesome Oxide Game Studio guys who made the Cobalt. I picked up several inspirations from Whispers in Akara. Actually, the Blaze is another one, Jurg Bergensten. That was the words from the great man, and just like that, the Wither was born. That's his words, not mine. I quoted all of him.
And at 8, Herobrine. We talked about the origin of the character when it comes to our world. However, what about the origin in the actual story itself, in the world of Minecraft? According to the original creepypasta, Herobrine was actually the spirit of Notch's dead brother who ended up possessing the game. According to the creepypasta, quote, about a month passed until I heard from my informant again. Some of the people who had encountered the mystery man had looked into the name Herobrine and found that name to be frequently used by a Swedish gamer. After some further information gathering, it was revealed to be the brother of Notch, Minecraft's developer. I personally emailed Notch and asked him if he had a brother, and it took a while, but he emailed me back a very short message. He said, I did, but he's no longer with us. So yeah, Herobrine's a dead person. Have fun!
Coming in at number 7, Alexbrine. Alexbrine is supposed to be the new Herobrine by GameChat. Alexbrine is the same as Herobrine, but uses the Alexbrine skin instead. Alex is just Birdie in Alex's skin with white eyes, although she is only mentioned in one video and it spreads to skins. She has Herobrine's powers watered down. Due to that fact, Alex stole a mysterious potion in a dungeon after traversing with her friends. Alex then drank the potion and had wither effects for 5 seconds. After those 5 seconds, she wasn't there. Dark Alexbrine was. Little did she know, after pretty much slaughtering her friends, Herobrine, my homie Brian, was walking around the same cave system where he met Alexbrine, and they first had their friendly little chatter until Herobrine says, hey, I'm the scariest creature in Minecraft. I be that guy, I be that dude. Which causes Alexbrine to nearly choke on laughter after what he said. And that's where the two lovebirds story begin, or so-called the reign of terror of our crafting worlds.
And at 6, Gene? When you kill the Ender Dragon, you get the achievement Free the End, which is normally seen as you being able to explore the end freely. However, what if it means something more? The Endermen did have to turn the same color as the Void in order to camouflage, maybe while the dragon flew around all willy-nilly, but if that's due to the fact that he is a tyrant that forced them to become his servants, there has to be something weird going on, okay? I'm sure that the end crystals weren't there from the beginning, especially because we can make them ourselves, and even re-summon the Ender Dragon after we've killed it the first time. This gives me the idea that maybe the dragon wasn't there from the start, but what could Gene's origin be? Honestly, I don't even have an idea, which is what makes this so terrifying, okay? But if it is like the ancient builders and Gene did end up evolving, well, that's gonna give me some nightmares. Some Minecraft nightmares. Thanks for watching.
Midway through at number 5, the Backrooms. The Backroom mod is based on a creepypasta or an urban legend that tells us a story of a seemingly limitless maze filled with different random generated office rooms. The wall of each room are painted yellow and square ceiling lights can be seen everywhere. Now, to be honest, this needs to be ported into the main game itself, alright? Having levels and puzzles that you could just get lost into, like imagine having a regular deadly mobs on each level you go through, finding the best loot in the game, and I can't say make this a final end game part, but honestly, I do like the whole style of going to the end to deal with dragons, okay? But having this in the story would be crazy as a crafter. And my favorite, and this is fully not really Minecraft related, I mean somewhat in a sense, but after seeing the Backrooms with that Haunter coming after you, I know y'all seen me do that Backrooms video before with Haunter. Bro, That is such a great animation. Look, I'm wearing Gengar around my neck, you know what I'm saying? So yes, seeing that would be amazing in the real game. I know it's a mod, but still, come on guys, you gotta be with me on this one.
And at 4, zombie virus. How could there possibly be a zombie virus, you may be asking? And you know what? I'm gonna answer it, or try to at least. Okay, this is a simple game, and nobody really turns into a zombie unless it's a villager being killed by a zombie. And you know what? You would be right, unless those mobs are found in the Nether. Okay, if you bring a piglin or a hoglin into the overworld from the Nether, within 30 seconds, they will have converted into their zombie variant. Why would that hint towards a zombie virus? Well, maybe they wouldn't have the immune system to fight off the virus, cause you know what? They're in a different goddamn dimension. But however, after generations, everything in our overworld is immune unless otherwise compromised, like getting killed by a zombie or for pigs getting hit by a lightning bolt. I mean, it doesn't make sense, and it's pretty horrifying when you think about it, knowing that the difference between us and our little green friend is that we're born a few generations later, and little green friend, by the way, means zombie. Or maybe because we didn't fight in the great piglin war of Minecraft Legends, okay? If you want to know more on how those can be connected, be sure you go watch our Minecraft Legends theories video, okay? The first one, and then all the others, and then play them all on loop, just for the rest of eternity. That would be great. Thank you.
Alright, coming in at number 3, armor. We go on to think you can survive in Minecraft with the top tier armor, right? But that's not what it is, okay? That's not what I came here to tell you. Would y'all believe me if I told you even armor had a backstory? A mystery has been taken out of the game, which is nuts because people like their cosmetic goods. Plate armor was the first armor to be added in Minecraft. It was used as test armor system and it gave no protection and looked similar to iron armor, except the chest plate was shorter. Not much else is known about it aside from the plate armor was the only armor to have 2 pieces, the helmet and the chest plate. This and the studded armor, also known as the leather chain armor, was a set of armor sprites that were added to the game files during the early in-depth stages. It was planned to be a mix of chainmail and leather armor together. It was used in the in-depth version, but they are the only armor sets that were removed. Why? I do not know. Like I said, everybody likes their cosmetic goods, okay? Leather chainmail though, and just the thought about that kind of just boggles my mind. Leather and chainmail put together?
But ultimately, in at number 2, Forgotten Souls. Minecraft and Minecraft Dungeons are indeed separate games, however aspects from one game can help us in finding lore in another, okay? Take FNAF for example, something that I talk about way too goddamn much, okay? The same thing happens over there. And the souls from Minecraft Dungeons can help give us an explanation about one of Minecraft's deadliest mobs, the Vex. The Vex can be summoned by the Evoker, an Illager variant that only spawns in woodland mansions during a raid, but the Vexes were always a mystery. We didn't quite know what they were, until we figured out that they're actually most likely souls like what we can collect in Minecraft Dungeons. The Evokers, I mean, literally have control over life and death. I mean, they carry around totems of undying, for God's sakes, something that they were searching for and then probably got banished for, and they can do it. They have the technology, they have the knowledge. It's showcased within the Vex, and those Vex are crazy OP when they're carrying an axe, okay? It's very concerning that these can just be summoned at will and then they can just absolutely wreck you and they're like nearly impossible to hit. But you know what? Where do these souls come from? I don't know. Are they dead villagers? Dead players? Is it just Herobrine? I don't know. It's Horcruxes, okay? Emphasis on the crux.
Finally at number 1, the Warden's Cabin. Your best bet to locate the Warden's Cabin is to dig down and find a cave that ventures below ground level. There is no other rhyme or reason to the biome spawn location, or to be honest, I don't know why you'd be so insane in the membrane, but if you're noticing a lot of these deep slate blocks in your cave that you're exploring, you're most likely near the deep dark biome. And if you can't find it, you can search for the nearest one by typing in /locate biome Minecraft deep_dark. into the chat. It's pretty easy, right? This will give you the coordinates of the closest one. Then all you have to do is locate it and explore. Be careful though, the Warden is the only mob that will spawn in that area, but players will also find in the ancient cities the deep dark. In these ruins you will find rare and valuable loot that will make venturing to this corner of the map worth your while. But here's where lies the Warden's cabin, because he needs a place to sleep when he ain't summoned. A small abandoned house-like structure composed primarily of a stripped oak logs and cobblestone with barrels, blast furnace, and several cobwebs. It's like this man had spiders he never really cleaned out, like, you know, dust them webs out, buddy. It was also shown being partially exposed from one side of a cave wall, and it was lit up with candle. Whether or not this place has loot or is for you to find out. I will not ruin this surprise. But if the Warden catches you, it's a wrap. He may be blind, but he ain't dumb. I will say that again. He may be blind, but he ain't dumb.
That's all the time we have for today.
Thank you for watching until the end.
Okay, if you did, comment banana doodle in the comments. Don't tell anyone else why. Don't question it. Just do it.
Banana doodle. Do it. We want to know who's the real crafting crew is, right?
Yes, indeed.
I've been Crafting Jay.
And I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe. We're done.
And we shall see you in another
Video. Oh. Yeah. My poop is terrifying.
Bro. No.
What? It's better than peas.
Get that boy some milk.
I don't think that would help.
Milk.
I don't think that would help.
It'll pass.
I would need Andrew's pills.
Oh God.
Jay definitely should have got Herobrine.
Why? You like?
Always have Herobrine.
You like? The one time I don't get Herobrine, right? See what happens? It's my homie right there. I'm wearing Gengar around my chest. Like, you know what I'm saying? I said chest. I meant to say neck.
A chest necklace?
I got a chestless. A chest. No, straight up. We got chestless out here. As a chest and a necklace put together.
My chest, my neck.
Never again, Connor.
Can I will sing the whole song and then throw WAP in there too, alright?
No.